Miss Donna Wilkes and Mr. Jeffrey Kramer.
Hello. Guten Tag. A lot of people came dressed as empty seats here.
Well, we have to warm up a little bit here. So, for the start, you both start, of course, in the Jaws franchise, in Jaws movies. Can you tell us a little bit how you came to the production, how you got involved in the projects?
How I got into production? The normal way, my agent called me, said there was an audition, and I auditioned again, they liked me, I auditioned again, and the first time I actually didn't get the part. That was when John Hancock was directing. And they called me 6 months later, and I thought it was maybe a really small part, and that they needed somebody for. Then I found out that they had fired the director and hired another director, and they were recasting the role that I originally was auditioning for, and I got it. That's about it.
I knew that they were going to shoot a movie on Martha's Vineyard. And I was an actor in New York, and I called my agent, and he got me a meeting with Steven Spielberg. And I went in and I met Steven Spielberg, and for the first and only time in my life, I went to this meeting and I left and I thought, I'm going to get this. And 10 days later, I was doing a job in Virginia, and I got a call, and we did this. We were all babies. You know, it's the 40th anniversary this summer, I think, next summer of 2015. 40 years since this movie was made. Richard Dreyfuss is the godfather to one of my children from those days. And Steven was still Steven, and now he's Spielberg. But Jaws 2, I left the movie when they had this director, John Hancock. He had cut my part in half. It was just not a good script, good role. And then they fired him, and they asked me back, and I came back also. But Jaws 2 was so tough that they say that if any of us ever went to prison, you get 6 months off of any jail term just for doing Jaws 2.
So, Jeffrey, you also worked as a producer. What's more exciting for you?
I like producing. I have more control over my life. I developed the X-Files. I produced Ally McBeal and The Practice and Chicago Hope. I don't know if you get those. I think they were, I know Ally was here, and I think The Practice was. But I now do it for CBS and develop shows that we sell to every cabler and network. And it's much more fulfilling because I realized that this wasn't love.
So, Donna, you did an interesting film called Angel. Can you tell us a little bit about the production?
Let's see. Well, Angel was actually based on a girl that the writers had watched in Hollywood. And they came to find out that she was very young and she was very smart. She was working as a teenage prostitute. So they went on to write this, and her name was Angel, so they went on to write this script, and we did it. It was a very low budget, and we did it in like 20 days as opposed to 20 years on Jaws 2. But we all put a lot, our heart and soul into it, and it became very popular. And I worked with a lot of good people: Dick Shawn, Susan Tyrell, Rory Calhoun. It was very exciting for me at the time. I looked up to all these people, and we all had a lot of fun doing it. It was hard work, but it was a lot of fun.
So you both start in Jaws 2. What are you thinking are the differences to the first Jaws movie? And did it work as a movie of its own, as a sequel? Did you think it worked?
We can both answer, but Jaws 2 was at the time one of the most successful sequels. It grossed over $100 million, which in those days is worth a lot more now, but it was highly successful, but it was a disaster. We shot it in Pensacola, Florida, and you know, nowadays you can green screen things, but when we did this, there'd be a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier in the background, and there was nothing you could do except just wait till it passed out of the shot. Nowadays, you could use special effects and Chiron it out of the shot. You could just easily do things like that. And Jaws 1, if that movie were made now, all they'd want are bigger, more shark, bigger shark. We were lucky in many ways in hindsight that the shark didn't work because you had to rely on character and building tension. You know, and if Roy Scheider looked at the sea one more time, you were gonna die, but there was great tension that was built up in a real dramatic, traditional way. Nowadays it's all effects and bigger, better, faster. But I think we were lucky, and it was like a perfect storm. We all thought the movie was going to get canceled as we were shooting it because we were over budget. It was crazy. We're making it up as we went. And it turned out to be like this perfect creative storm. And you know that scene where Ben Gardner's head comes out of the boat and scares everybody to death? We used to go into the theater at night because you knew exactly when it would be. The whole audience rear back. That insert shot where the head comes out of the boat was done in Verna Field's swimming pool as a pickup shot.
So a question to Donna. I've read in your profile that you literally stopped working in 1991. What happened? Did you say I'm not satisfied with my acting career, or what did happen?
Well, what really happened is that I became pregnant and I had a daughter, and I thought it would be healthier to bring her up outside of show business. I was a single mom, so it would be easier because it is very narcissistic. For an actress especially, and then to spend your time raising a child, I think is very hard. They don't have their own identity. They're more your daughter than who they are. And so I took time off and I raised my daughter in the regular real world, and now I'm back.
So a question to you both. What do you like most about being in the show business? Tough question, I know.
It's a tough question. I like the process. I mean, I don't want to be in front of the camera. I haven't been in front of the camera for a long time. But I like putting together all of the elements and putting it together and kind of trusting my gut. You know, it takes a long time in life to trust your instincts and your gut. And I know what I like, and I gamble that I think that's what other people will like too.
I'm running out of questions, and we also have a Q&A tomorrow. But I would like the audience, if somebody has a question from the audience. Möchte jemand eine Frage stellen? Very shy people. So maybe you can tell us some stories about Jaws 2 that you want to share with the audience. What you liked or what you disliked.
Well, I have a Jaws 1 story. You know, Murray Hamilton, who played the mayor, was a great drinker. And we're coming home one night from the bar and walking back to the hotel, and Murray goes, here, kitty, kitty, here, kitty, and he gets skunked. We had to bathe him in tomato juice, and he ended up sleeping in the lobby of the hotel. And by the next morning, everybody could smell Murray because the tomato juice didn't really work. And we call it the Murray Hamilton night at the Harbor View Hotel.
So Jeffrey, I read on your profile an interesting thing. Next month we will have Christmas again, and you were involved in Santa Claus. Is that right?
Yeah, but we try to forget certain things we've done. But you ever see Santa Claus the movie? No. See, no one's seen it. John Lithgow and I play the schmuck villains, and it's Dudley Moore stars in it. It was fun to do, but it was a big spectacle and kind of didn't work. But got me to England.
So I think our time is up for today. We will have another Q&A tomorrow.
Great.
Then we will talk a little bit more about Christmas and stuff, and Jaws, of course. So thank you very much,
Thank you,
ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jeffrey Kramer and Miss Donna Wilkes. Thank you very much.